It's the fire in the rain. It's the smile within the pain. It's the logic but insane. You cannot know from where it came. It's the way you cross the...
Hi folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. This week we are on our way home from Oregon, but first we do a really nice little drive from Sisters to Bend using the Backroads. So Corinne and I are heading out of Sisters, Oregon, up towards the mountains, the Sisters Mountains. And we're going to go up the back way, which is a gravel road all the way up. It's a bit washboardy, but other than that, it's a pretty good road. So we've turned off the main road, and we are now on Forestry Road. It's a good deal bumpier and a little bit rutted, but otherwise just fine. Well, we've gone from a gravel road to a pretty nice road that's carved through down to what looks like now a two-track. And it's a little bit more rutted, a little bit more bumpy, but again, just fine. Nothing special. Coming through a nice little pine forest as we kind of work our way up the mountain. So we've been doing a bunch of little turns onto different little roads, mainly because the Onyx basically told us that a road existed that didn't exist, which happens sometimes. So we're kind of making it up as we go along right at the moment.
That's quite a network though, so it's easy to pick up another road if one doesn't exist.
Yeah, so if you didn't hear it, Corinne was saying that if there's a real big network of roads through here, so if one doesn't seem to exist, another one kind of replaces it. We are back on a gravel road. Nice little cross-country route there. And this, of course, is very washboardy. So we're driving through a burned-out area. We've left the gravel road. We're now back on a smaller road, although this is definitely well used. And it's kind of potholey, but otherwise not bad. We found a very washboardy road. But we're making progress up. Corinne is now driving. And of course, I left her to drive when the road gets really crappy. That's my standard operating procedure. I think this is pronounced Wychus Creek. It is a beautiful piece of water. It looks more like a raging river right at the moment, with all these rapids coming down it. This is our view at the stop we made for lunch. See the beautiful mountains right through the pine trees there. It's absolutely gorgeous. After lunch, we were back on the trail. We found this nice little road going up through the forest. Again, we're continuing to make our way up the hill towards the Sisters Mountains. Well, Corinne and I have found some paved road. So it looks like there's a little bit of everything on the trail that we're doing today. The road is even got a double orange line on it. Double yellow line. Double orange line.
Yep.
Double yellow line. Well, we're on a little two-track. And it's a bit on the bumpy side. Quite passable, though. No really big obstacles or anything. Just lots of little sharp stones. We saw lots of glimpses of the Sisters Mountains as we were driving up the hill. They were very, very pretty, still very snow-covered while we were there in early July. wasn't too long before we got up to the snow-covered parts of the trail, and it was pretty sloppy, wet. Made the trail kind of muddy as well. And it got a little more interesting shortly after we get past this first snow piles. Well, we're going to get wet.
And then go through snow.
And then there's snow on the other side. So up till here, the trail had been very dry, with periodic snow patches on the side and some mud along the side. But the trail changes rather significantly from here in as we hit this really snowy area. As you can see, it doesn't really stop us very much. We just kind of go right over top of it and just keep right on going. Now I'm stopping here to put the truck in four-wheel drive low, and I actually engaged the rear lockers because I found on the first pile of snow I lost traction on the rear wheels as we came over the hill. So this time I'm making sure that I can keep plowing right through. You also can probably notice that the snow ahead of me is quite a bit deeper, and there are several piles of it that I have to get over in the next section. We had met a other four-wheel driver coming the other way. He had just crossed the snow and made these ruts that you see. I'm using the ruts to my advantage by using them as the direction to put in the wheels. And to be frank, it was really kind of anticlimactic getting over the snow. We just kind of plowed right through it and kept right on going. My only real worry going through the snow was that I managed to get bellied out with my wheels up in the air. And that almost happens in this pile. As you can see, the car kind of shudders a little bit, and that's just because I'm dragging snow with the belly of the vehicle. As it turns out, the other piles of snow were just a warm-up to this last pile. It's quite a bit taller, and the snow is quite a bit softer, so it turned out to be a bit more of a challenge than the others. But even here, I kind of managed to get up, kind of hang there for a second, then just keep right on going. From there on, we got a couple other little snow piles, but really nothing of really any significant consequence. Now, Corinne and I had talked about what we would do if we got stuck starting out, and we had decided that we would be able to tow ourselves out. We do have a winch on the front, and we know how to use it. So we weren't terribly worried. We saw this Jeep, he had stopped because he didn't want to tackle the snow any further up, and they were out doing a little hiking. The road from here on in was mostly slightly snow covered, but really muddy until we got past this area. And this area here was the kind of last of the deeper puddles, snow mix, and mud. And it was a bit slippery. You can maybe tell that we're sliding around a little bit as I push my way through. But once we're through this, it's just really a couple little muddy patches from here on in. It was really no big deal. Corinne and I drove up to Bearwallow Butte, which has a transmission tower up here. Beautiful view, although the trees are a little bit in the way for the mountains over in that direction. We had found the butte because we were starting to look for a campsite and kind of poking our nose in on the lesser or ancillary roads to the main road. We were also a little bored. The main road through this area is pretty standard gravel road, so it wasn't all that interesting. One of the things we did notice is there was quite a bit of forestry work going on in the area. They were cleaning up the undergrowth, and as a result of that, I think they had fixed this road up. It was beautiful shape. It had just been graded, and we spent quite a few miles just driving down this road. Again, we're starting to really look for a campsite. So we got ourselves in a bit of a jam. I'm trying to turn around. Corinne's helping me right at the moment. So this is what happens when you take a trail that ends up petering out on you, and you take it too far to the point where you're hemmed in by the trees. Going straight back's not... I can't swing my front end around. You can always tell when Corinne's getting a little frustrated with me. The hands on the hips are a sure tail sign that I'm not doing what she wants me to do. But at the same time, I can't see behind me very well. So trying to get around the corner is hard. Okay, you can get in now.
Took a few turns.
Yep. Pardon? Why? Oh. What you can't see is that I had managed to park right at a stump and Corinne couldn't get the door open, so she was even more frustrated with me. Well, we're heading back on a road that we just came in on. We've basically run into another closed road, actually two closed roads. So we're kind of heading back to the main road on this two-track. The campsite we found was squirreled away in the trees. In fact, it was kind of surprising that we even found it because it's really hidden. It was a good campsite, except that it required quite a bit of maneuvering in order to actually get the truck in there in a place where we could set up the tent. Well, we found a campsite for the night. It's not ideal. We're pitched a little bit forward and to the passenger side, so it's not exactly perfect, but it's going to do for the evening. So Corinne, I had a great day off-roading today. We got sand, we got gravel, we got some whoops. We got to actually have to go over some snow and some mud, and a couple big puddles that were actually quite deep, some tall hills. So all in all, it was a great day from that point of view. Finding a campsite turned out to be a good deal more difficult. We passed up a bunch of campsites that were up near the lake. They were pretty uneven, and quite frankly, it was extremely busy up there, so it wasn't something we really wanted to do. And by the time we really decided we needed a campsite, we were lucky to come across this one that we've got right now. And it's in the middle of the forest. It should be we're pretty close to the main road, or the main gravel road, but there's a bunch of trees between us and the road, so we should be pretty good for not getting dusted all night as the vehicles go by. So that should be pretty good. The campsite is pretty uneven. It slopes down and towards the road we came in on. So it was pretty tricky. We spent a lot of time fiddling back and forth to make sure we were in a good spot. But we're settled down. I'm sitting in my chair. Corinne's doing some dusting because, my God, was there dust today. And it looks like it'll be some drinks and snacks here in a little while, which will be great. On the ground, it's often difficult to tell just what the area looks like. So I launched a drone and had a little look around. One of the first things we do when we come out of the bush is look for a good local coffee shop. We found Thump, and Corinne actually got an opportunity to do a tour of their roasting facilities. It was fun, and we got a great cup of coffee. The next morning we were up early and starting to head home. It was going to be a pavement trip, so we didn't really cover much of it from here.
Well, we're just wrapping up the last of our trip to Idaho and Oregon in our Overlanding Jeep Gladiator, and made a stop at the Creamery in Beaver, Utah to enjoy an ice cream.
Hi folks, well, we are back home in our garage. It sounds a little echoey, but it's too windy outside to actually do any filming. Had a great trip. What did you think, Corinne?
Had a good time. I'm almost ready to start another trip.
Almost ready. Well, that means she's almost ready, like she does the laundry, strips the bed in the Jeep, cleans all that. We probably have to vacuum out about 2 pounds of dust from inside the Jeep. I know I've got a bunch of little chores to do, and then we'll be ready to go again.
Yes, maybe some mechanical stuff.
And a little bit of mechanical stuff. Not much. The Jeep did very well that way. Well, we sure hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up.
And if you'd like to see more of our videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. And if you want to know when new videos are posted, you can use that notification bell.
And please, please, please start leaving us some comments, ideas, thoughts. Just say hi. We really appreciate it. And it also influences just who gets to see this video nowadays with YouTube. So more comments, the better. And we look forward to seeing them. And until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.